Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. The global political landscape is shifting rapidly, and sovereign nations are making decisions that have far-reaching consequences. The United States, in exercising its own sovereign right, has halted aid funding to South Africa. In equal measure, South Africa must exercise its own sovereignty in responding to this decision in a manner that prioritizes our national interest, protects the most vulnerable, and safeguards our economic and social stability. Beyond that direct health implications, 15,000 healthcare workers are now at risk of losing their jobs at a time when South Africa faces record high unemployment. This is an undesirable development. The strain on the healthcare system will be severe, reducing access to treatment for vulnerable citizens, increasing workloads for remaining healthcare workers, and potentially leading to burnout and compromised care quality. In response, the IFP believes in short-term interventions and long-term solutions to mitigate the damage and build resilience. In the short term, for long-term gain, collaboration between the government, private sector, and NGOs will be essential for providing emergency funding, redirecting resources, and offering alternative employment opportunities in the healthcare sector. By doing so, we can soften the immediate impact of the funding cut while working toward long-term sustainability. In the long term, South Africa must move towards self-help and self-reliance and economic independence. Over-reliance on external aid makes us vulnerable to political global shifts, propaganda, and misinformation. The IFP firmly believes that cultivating the capacity to thrive independently is the only sustainable path forward. However, we further recognize that South Africa is not an island. Our economy and geopolitical standing are deeply tied to global trade. The United States remains a key strategic trade partner, and we must approach this situation with diplomacy and pragmatism. The IFP supports engagements on a well-reasoned diplomatic approach, which is necessary to preserve our economic relationship. However, Honorable Deputy Speaker, after all this is said and done, the hard truths here at home must be confronted. The crisis that is occurring is not in isolation. It exposes the deeper systemic failures in the country. The illusion of reconciliation in 1994 allowed injustices to persist without full accountability. The CODESA principle of sufficient consensus enabled oppressors to escape responsibility, while the Rainbow Nation facade only served to delay true economic justice. Today, emboldened elements of the past are once again challenging the progress that we have made. Let us be clear, some of those who benefited from apartheid never stopped working against a truly free South Africa. Their stance remains an anti-democratic South Africa. The irony is that they cry foul when we speak redress and transformation, terming it as racism, with their only recourse being a nostalgic longing to take us back to a racist past of black oppression. The return of the Trump administration has emboldened these forces, allowing them to undermine our democracy and economic stability under the guise of foreign policy decisions. AfriForum and Solidarity have erred in their modus operandi. Their recourse cannot be railing one government over another. Their pursuit for recourse could have found expression in other legitimate international fora. One area where sovereignty and national interest must be exercised is land reform. However, this must be done responsibly. The IFP opposes the Expropriation Act, but not because we reject land reform, but because we reject reckless policy making. Section 25 of the Constitution already allows for land expropriation when necessary, but it must be done with compensation to ensure economic stability. The current Expropriation Act is flawed and risks driving South Africa into further economic hardship. We support transformation, but not destruction. The U.S. decision to halt aid is both currently now for South Africa a challenge and an opportunity. It forces us to rethink our economic policies and stand our own feet. We must at this moment put South Africa first. In conclusion, Honorable Deputy Speaker, it is only the MK party that congratulated Mr. Trump on his re-election. The chickens have come home to roost.